Hi there, my name's Emma and I'm from Engineered Well Pilates. And today I'm going to introduce you to some of the fundamentals of Pilates. So the fundamentals are a series of exercises that basically build a really strong foundation for your workout. So on the surface, they might seem quite simple. But you will find, particularly as you do more Pilates, you'll kind of tune in to the real nuances of the exercises that mean that however long you have been doing Pilates for, these lovely fundamentals will always challenge you. So they're designed to build strength and core control and stability. And really, I think they're designed to really make you tune into where your body is in space. So we're going to do a few. We're going to start off lying down and we're going to try and find our neutral pelvis. So we're all different, everyone's is going to be unique. So your feet are hip width apart, you're going to lie all the way down to flat with your arms on your hips to start. So from here, I want you to feel like you've got a little bit of air underneath your lower back, like your pelvis is just really lengthened, it's just really natural for you. And now I want you to draw your belly button in towards your spine and flatten your back into the mat. So I'll lift my arms up so you can see that I'm flattening. I've now tucked my pelvis towards me, so you'll see the hips have moved towards me. And now I'm going to take my pelvis the opposite way. So I'm going to move it away and I'm going to go into this exaggerated arch. I've got all this space underneath my back. And I'm going to pull in my belly button and I'm going to move through these two extremes. I'm flattening and I'm overarching. Belly button pulling in, I'm flattening and I'm overarching. And now I'm going to come and I'm going to rest somewhere between those two extremes. And I'm going to make my hands into a diamond shape, thumb together, forefingers together. And I'm going to check where my positioning is. So I'm going to put my thumb on my belly button and my fingers are going to fire towards my pubic bone. So if I'm in neutral, this diamond shape will be level. Like if I had a spirit level, the bubble would be right in the middle. So when I imprint, the diamond's going to point, my forefingers point towards the ceiling, overarch, the thumbs point towards the ceiling. Neutral, everything is a level plane. And it might feel weird. You might find that you have perhaps been living in a non-neutral position. This position is going to take you time to adjust to. So enjoy the journey. So from here, you're going to bring your arms by your side. And I want you to think about pulling your belly button in towards your spine and almost sending it out the top of your head. So the belly button's going to pull in and up. And we're going to release. There shouldn't really be any movement through the body. It's just this internal sense of hollowing out, scooping out the abdomen. So you'll often hear me say scoop, and that's what this means, just pulling the belly button in and up, and release. Pull the belly button in and up, and release. And now I'm going to get you to take your hands, and you're going to find the bony bits on the front of your hips. So a lot of people in Pilates often say, am I doing it right? Am I scooping right? Am I connecting with my deep core muscles? And this is a little test for you. So you're going to walk your fingers in just a little bit of those bony bits where your hips are. And you're going to squidge around. Let everything just relax and it should feel squidgy. And then you're going to have a good old prod and you're going to pull your belly button in and up. And you should feel a gentle tightening underneath your fingers and release. And we'll do that again. Belly button pulling in and up. And release. Keep squidging in, it should feel nice and taut, and release. So if you feel that tensing of the muscle, then you are scooping correctly, you are using those muscles. If you can't feel it, then we're going to test with the next exercise, which is called knee folds. So arms go by your side. Without shifting your body weight, without moving your pelvis, you're going to very slowly lift your right leg into tabletop, which is a 90-degree angle of the leg. And you're going to lower that leg back down. and you're going to lift up the other leg without shifting the body weight, and lower it down. Now, if you can do this exercise without any movement apart from the leg, then you are using those muscles. If this is feeling stable, you can almost barely touch one foot to the floor before you lift the other leg. This is much harder. You might feel like your back starts to lift, which we don't want. So you're going to really sink these front ribs down into the floor. Remembering you can always revert to that foot landing for support. And do one more. And pause. So now we're going to start to think about the underside of the body, these buttocks. So I want you to feel the area underneath the butt cheek. So it's not sort of the full glute, it's just the bit that makes your bum smile. You're going to dig your right heel in towards your mat, and you're going to scrape it all the way out long, like you're trying to take your sock off. And then you're going to dig that heel in more, and you're going to scrape it back in. And again, you're going to dig that heel in, and you should feel that area in the bum really activate and engage. Dig the heel, pull it back in. And we'll do that 3 more times. And in. 2 more. And in. And this is your last one. And in. And we're going to change sides. And I'm just being mindful as I do this movement that my knee is firing straight up towards the ceiling. It's not flailing out to the side or falling in. It's just nice and in line. Okay, so I'll do 2 more. And pause. And from here, I'm going to slowly roll over onto my front. And I'm going to come to lie down with my arms by my side and my palms facing up. So this is an exercise called flight. It's a great one for kind of strengthening the back. So you're going to lie with your forehead resting down, your palms are facing up towards the ceiling, and you're going to imagine your ribs, your front ribs, and your abs are like an elevator, and they're going to lift you up. So from here, we're going to start to lift the forehead and the chest off the mat. Abs pulling up, they're just reaching you up from underneath, and then you're lowering back down. And again, you're going to lengthen up and lengthen back down. We'll do 3 more of these. Really reach those fingers, try and touch your heels, and lower down. And just take note of where my head is. I'm not cranking it back. The lift is coming from my ribs and my abs and coming back down. And we'll do 1 more. And pause. And then you're going to sit back on your heels into what we call rest position. So rest position in Pilates is slightly different to what it is in yoga. We're not flat on our thighs. We're really lifted up off those thighs. We're rounding the spine, trying to pull our belly button in deep away from reaching fingers. Just walk your hands over to the right and take a little side stretch while we're here. This isn't technically a fundamental, it just feels really good. And then go over the other way. And then come back to the center. You're going to roll back over. Feet are going to go back to that hip width apart. And we're going to do an exercise called Ribcage Arms. So we're going to lie on down. We're just checking that we're not tucked, we're nice and neutral in the pelvis. And our arms will come up towards the ceiling. Reach your fingers like you're trying to touch your fingertips to the ceiling. Let the arms come out of their socket and now drop them heavy back into the socket. And again, we reach and we set those arms in their socket. And last one, set those arms in their socket, slide the shoulders down the back and take a few big breaths in here. We're going to inhale. And as we exhale, we're going to soften the front of the rib cage towards the back. We're going to inhale. You're imagining my hand is on your front, just gently pressing it down into the mat. So what can happen here if we're tight is in order to get the back of the ribs down, we tuck the pelvis. So I want you to try and focus on keeping your pelvis neutral and just use the breath to soften the back of the ribs in towards your mat. You want to feel as if my hands were underneath your back, you'd be properly squashing my fingers. So now you're going to keep squashing my fingers, just slowly take these arms behind the head. We're not aiming for the floor, and then bring the arms back up to the top. So I see a lot of people when they take their arms behind their head go too far and their ribs will lift and they'll end up with all this space underneath their back. So you want to avoid that. So you're only going to go so far behind you that there's no movement through those ribs or through the spine. It might not be far. You'll get strong, you'll get further range of movement the more you practice the exercise. And up. We'll do 2 more. Sinking the ribs heavier and heavier and heavier. And here's the last one. Heavier, heavier, softening the ribs and up. And now you can circle the arms around. So I've got a little beanie back here that I stupidly put in the way, so my hand is going to hit it. But you can go nice and big with these circles. Just make sure that the ribs are still grounded to your mat. Just do 1 more. And we're going to circle the other way. So we go down, out, ribs get heavier, 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 and up. Down. Soften the ribs. Let's do 1 more. And soften the ribs, bring the arms by your side. Just tuck your chin to your chest. Really lengthen that neck along the mat. Bring your head back to neutral. Tuck that chin in. See where my ponytail is? Imagine that here it's being pulled along the mat. And bring it back in. And again, reach that ponytail, this top part of your head along, get a nice yummy stretch through the back of the neck and come back in. And I'm just going to take a moment here whilst we're doing these little stretches of the neck to just say that if you find that when you're resting down on the mat like we are here, that your head is sort of more in this position, that your chin's really arched, then grab a wee pad and just pop it underneath your head so that you can get this sort of nice level alignment of the head on the spine. I'll talk about that more in some of my other videos, but that's just something to kind of have in mind. So if you've got any questions, just give me a shout. So now you're going to just gently tuck that chin in. It's almost like there's a little plum underneath your chin that you want to keep in place. And you're going to start to reach your fingers towards your heels, pull in your belly button and lift up to the tips of the shoulder blades without tucking the pelvis, without doing anything from here down. This is all still. And you're going to lower it back down. So you're going to secure that little plum, pull in the belly button in and up, and lift up. Lengthen back down. Really feel this reach through the fingers. So secure that plum, lift up to the tips of the shoulders. Let those shoulders, look, they're not up here, they're down the back of my body, they're reaching away. Rest it back down. We're going to do that 2 more times. If you feel tension through the neck, see if you can almost send more energy out the top of your head and tuck these upper ribs underneath your pecs, underneath your boobs more, and see if that helps. Rest it down. So we don't want to feel strain in the neck, and it could just be that you just need to build up your upper abs, but sometimes just making those little tweaks reaching through the fingers, folding these ribs in, energy out the head can just take the load off the neck. Rest down. So now we've done this series of fundamentals, we're going to put some of them together just for fun into the 100. So from here, you're going to reach your fingers, you're going to tuck your chin in. You're going to curl up to the tips of the shoulders, hold this position, check your pelvis is still neutral. These upper ribs are connected and heavy. We're going to bring one leg up into our tabletop and the other leg. Pelvis is still, part of the body's moving. We're going to pump these arms up and down. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Nice vigorous pumps with these arms. Belly button pulling in and up. Focus on full exhales. Belly button pulling in and up. We're halfway. Now, if you feel any tension in the neck, you're going to rest your head, keep pumping these arms. If you feel any arching through the back, you're going to rest your feet down, keep pumping these arms. We're going to go for 3 more full breaths. Two more. Keep breathing, we're nearly there. This is your last one. And lower with control to the floor. Excellent job. So carefully come up to a seated position, and that's you all done. That's your introduction to some of the fundamentals of Pilates. As you can see, they are challenging, and as I said at the start, they are always challenging. So the more you do Pilates, the more you'll come to connect, find those really fine-tuned connections. And so they're always a challenge. I love the fundamentals. So here you are, starting your Pilates journey. Welcome, enjoy the ride. It's a great one. Subscribe to my channel. I share personalized Pilates videos for your body and your individual needs. So check out my other videos. Visit me on my website. I'm Emma, Engineered Well Pilates, and that's engineeredwellpilates.com. And if you've got any questions or there's any videos that you would like to see on this channel, then please do drop me a line and I will do my very best to help. All right, it was great to work out with you and I look forward to seeing you again soon.